In Movies and Money today, that record-breaking weekend for Spider-Man is giving some sizzle to the box office this summer. Joining us now is movie man Eric Childress. Hello, Eric.
Hi, Angie.
Big numbers for that July 4th holiday from franchise films, but is it enough to squelch talk of a summer slump?
Well, people sure like to talk, don't they, Angie? But let's look at the positives that have erupted from the negatives. We've talked a few times now about how the shoot the moon projections for Toy Story 4 were not met, and people were quick to label it a disappointment. Well, the film is now over $300 million. They got really gun-shy about Spider-Man Far From Home and suggested that it was going to make $125 million in a long 6-day holiday week, and that would somehow be a victory for Sony and Marvel. Just as I suggested, the film made a massive $185 million from last Tuesday to Sunday. The film is also over $600 million worldwide and headed for what should be an easy billion. The money certainly shifts in this business, and there will always be surprises, but the numbers are out there, history can be our guide, and word of mouth from audiences and even critics do matter.
But as you know, Eric, there are many reports talking about how the box office is down in lieu of other options, such as streaming services.
Again, Angie, there is a lot of Chicken Little talk out there when it comes to theatrical distribution. For independent releases, I agree, but not for spectacles, not for events, and not for films that generate positive reviews and audience recommendations. But back to the numbers. The most important of which is that 2018 was the highest grossing year at the box office in history with $11.89 billion. Let me say that again for the cheap seats. 2018 was the highest grossing year for the film industry ever. And by only being 8 to 8.5% off last year, 2019 is on pace to becoming the second biggest year at the box office ever. And think what this year still has in store. The Lion King, for starters, next week is going to be huge. The new Tarantino the week after. Hobbs and Shaw a week after that. It Chapter 2 in September. Frozen 2 in November. A Jumanji sequel. And Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. 2019 is more likely to come close to challenging 2018 for the crown than a sign that doom is on the horizon.
Taking a look ahead at the box office this weekend, are this week's new releases going to help add to that run at the crown?
Well, the easy answer to that is no, Angie. This is definitely a go-between week, starting with Stuber.
Please be a 5-star ride.
Hey! Uber?
LAPD. Let's go.
You selected the Uber pool option.
Uber what? Ladies, official police business.
Is that even real?
Get out of the car!
Stuber, which features Dave Bautista as a cop who uses an Uber driver played by Kumail Nanjiani to hunt down a notorious criminal. Kind of the bizarro Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and even with two very likable actors at the center of it, critics are not really on board with this one, even going back to its early premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival back in March. Then there is Crawl.
The state of Florida has issued a Category 5 hurricane warning. All residents must evacuate immediately.
Crawl, a high-concept horror film involving a flooded house during a hurricane and the alligators run amok, hunting down the trapped people. Paramount has chosen not to screen this film for critics, beyond a chosen few guaranteed to say some nice things about it. This is from the director of the remakes of The Hills Have Eyes and Piranha, and I don't have a whole lot of nice things to say about his resume, so view at your own risk. But expect both of these films to debut somewhere in the $10 to $15 million region, while the bulk of America will likely be making Spider-Man Far From Home and Toy Story 4 the top films of the box office this weekend again.
We'll see if that happens. Thank you so much, as always, Eric.
Thank you, Angie.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.